All right, today we're going to dive into a classic fable that has a lesson that is, well, surprisingly relevant to our lives right now. It's the story of the observant boy. So let's start with a puzzle, right off the bat. How is it possible to describe something in detail that you have never ever seen? I mean, it sounds impossible, doesn't it? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through this. Okay, so our story kicks off with a pretty normal scene. We've got a man, he's on his way to the market. With him is his donkey, and it's carrying these two big, heavy sacks of wheat. Everything seems totally normal. But you know how it is. The afternoon sun is beating down, and the man starts to get a little sleepy. He spots a nice, shady tree and figures, hey, why not take a quick nap? The only problem is, while he's asleep, his donkey just wanders off. Oh, you can just imagine that feeling, can't you? That jolt of panic. He wakes up, feels rested for about half a second, and then it hits him. The donkey is gone. We're talking his transportation, his merchandise, basically his entire livelihood, just vanished. So naturally, he starts frantically searching everywhere. So as this poor guy is running down the road in a panic, he comes across a young boy just hanging out. He's thinking, okay, great, maybe this kid saw something. The man runs up and asks the boy if he's seen a stray donkey. And the boy's response is just wild. He asks this question with such specific details, it's almost spooky. I mean, not just, what color is it? But this whole list of really unique traits. The man is completely stunned. And just like that, his panic just evaporates and turns into pure joy. The description is absolutely perfect. It's spot on. He's probably shouting, yes, yes, that's him, that's my donkey. He thinks the search is over. This boy must have seen it. But then, things get weird. The man, all excited, asks the boy, okay, great, where did you see him? And the boy just calmly says, I haven't seen it. And wait, what? How is that possible? How can you know all those details but claim you've never actually laid eyes on the animal? And just like that, all that relief and happiness, it flips into pure rage. The man feels like he's being played for a fool, like this kid is just messing with him. He jumps to the absolute worst conclusion and decides, that's it, I'm taking you to the village chief to be punished for this. So they show up in front of the judge. The man lays out his angry story, and now, finally, the boy gets a chance to explain himself and solve this whole mystery. The judge, who's a pretty wise person, cuts right to the chase and asks the exact same question we've all been thinking. Okay, kid, explain yourself. If you never saw the donkey, how in the world did you describe it so perfectly? And this is where it gets brilliant. The boy doesn't claim to have magical powers. Instead, he just lays out his thinking, step by step. And it all comes down to three simple things he noticed on the road. Okay, so clue number one, the footprints. The boy explains that he saw the donkey's tracks in the dirt path, but he noticed something odd. One hoofprint was always deeper than the others. From that one little detail, he figured out the animal must have a limp. Next up, clue number two, the grass. He noticed that the donkey had been munching on the grass along the side of the road, but only on the right side. The grass on the left side was totally untouched. So he put two and two together and realized, it must not be able to see the grass on its left side. It's probably blind in its left eye.
And the final piece of the puzzle? He saw tiny grains of wheat sprinkled along the path. That told him the donkey wasn't just aimlessly wandering. It had to be carrying a sack of wheat that had a small leak. It's just simple observation, but the deduction is incredible.
So, after hearing this perfectly logical explanation, the judge is just blown away. He sees this kid isn't a troublemaker, he's incredibly smart and wise beyond his years. He praises the boy and turns to the man and says he should forgive him because clearly no harm was ever intended.
So this story, it's obviously about more than just a lost donkey, right? It's a really powerful lesson about two totally different ways we can look at the world, either through careful observation or through quick assumption.
You know, the boy's superpower here wasn't magic at all. It was just good old-fashioned observation. He simply paid attention to the details that were right there in front of him. The tracks, the grass, the wheat, and pieced the clues together like a detective.
Now the man, he did the complete opposite, didn't he? He was running purely on assumption. He couldn't figure out how the boy knew what he knew, so his brain just filled in the blank with the worst possible story. He's making fun of me. It's a perfect example of how quickly we can jump to the wrong conclusion.
So what this really all boils down to is the huge difference between looking at evidence versus reacting with emotion. The boy saw the evidence and built a description from it. The man heard a description, felt confused and angry, and built a whole story of malice around it. It's a huge reminder to look for the facts before we let our feelings take over.
And that really leaves us with a big question to ask ourselves. In our jobs, in our relationships, in just our day-to-day lives, what little crucial details might we be completely missing just because we're in a hurry to assume we already know the whole story?